In 2022, the National Assembly embarked on one of its most important endeavors, amending the 1999 Constitution. Previous assemblies have had a go at amending the 1999 Constitution with varying levels of success.
Now, the consensus amongst a cross-section of Nigerians is that the 1999 Constitution is flawed and does not capture the collective aspirations of Nigerians.
From the moment the Ninth Assembly announced it would amend the nation's constitution, the declaration was met with a debate in the public sphere on the efficacy of the National Assembly's piecemeal approach of amending the constitution and if this method is in the best interest of a nation. Undeterred by these viewpoints, the National Assembly began the process of amending the 1999 Constitution in January 27, 2020 and climaxed on March 1, 2022, when the Senate and House of Representatives voted on 68 constitution amendment bills. Some of these bills center on issues which have captured public interest over the years. But a legislative analyst is dissatisfied with the manner the National Assembly handled the amendment process.
It was too slow for comfort. So I think that process suffered. It was not properly chaperoned, by those responsible for it. It was also not properly. There was no dedication to it, I could put it that way. So I'm afraid that perhaps another huge sum of money gone down the drain.
But Parliament failed to amend all the constitutional gender bills before it, an action which infuriated gender rights activists, triggering days of protest at the National Assembly. Unfortunately, it appears that the Ninth National Assembly's attempt to amend the 1999 Constitution may be an exercise in futility, as Parliament has accused state assemblies of stalling the process.
We received a letter from the Conference of Speakers of State Assemblies informing the National Assembly that the remaining states will not act. The remaining states will not act on the 44 bills unless the National Assembly passes 4 new bills they have proposed in the letter.
I don't think the Constitution can be amended under this government the way it is going. It is too late.
The House of Representatives considered 221 bills in 2022. The Senate, on the other hand, worked on 142 bills during the year.
Those against any, the ayes have it.
In addition to the passage of some critical legislations, the Senate and House of Representatives gave attention to several bills to establish federal government funding institutions, a practice which a legislative analyst faults.
In an area where we are talking of reducing the cost of governance, and what you see are bills to establish one institution of higher learning in their community, in their backyard, bills to, so again, this is where the issue of value, how much contribution does such bills or proposals make to the governance process?
Mr. Epia also questions the avalanche of bills introduced by some federal lawmakers in 2022 without corresponding actions to ensure they are passed.
Most of these bills are stuck on first reading, but none of them goes to the more critical charts of, the productivity of the bills, the progression of the bills.
Beyond the passage of legislations, the National Assembly intervened in some issues of national importance. The leadership of the House of Representatives intervened in the strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and made good its promise by including 170 billion naira for salary renegotiation and 300 billion naira for revitalization of Nigerian universities in the 2023 budget.
Can even talk of the recent CBN policy, which the National Assembly rose, both chambers rose against it, and I think you can see CBN backpedaling and increasing the limit.
The Ninth Assembly will terminate in 2023, but both houses still have a few months to go, and keen observers want Parliament to give attention to some issues.
It would be great if the National Assembly is able to get a hang on our debt crisis, to be able to sit up and address the issues of revenue and borrowing and try to fix the economy.
In anticipation of a 10th National Assembly with a high turnover of lawmakers, Nigerians would hope to see a crop of parliamentarians who would prioritize national interest and would be more proficient in finding quick and lasting solutions to the country's economic challenges.
They would also want the National Assembly to properly scrutinize loan requests from the president to ensure that the country is not plunged deeper into debt. Now, analysts also want the National Assembly to pay greater attention to issues of fiscal discipline and revenue generation through its oversight of federal government agencies. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe.
Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.